So we're looking at the Friday the 13th full-ish moon. A little underexposed. I should probably boost the ISO a bit here. So let's do that. I'm going to be a little shaky while I do that. Let's bring it up to let's see, 800, maybe a bit much. 640 looks pretty good. So yeah, so 640 ISO, 30th of a second shutter speed, and f8ish, I think, on a no flexar 600mm telephoto lens, sort of classic old telephoto, so not the sharpest 600mm lens you're ever going to see, but it does the job. And, for this type of shot, I think it's just fine. I think I want to move to do some stills here while the going's good. Moon sort of rising up in the clouds. I looked out earlier and there was quite a lot of cloud on the horizon, like basically a fairly thick-looking bank of clouds. So I didn't bother going to some location where I could maybe, if I was really lucky, catch the moon breaking through a cloud over some landmark. I was pretty sure the chance of that happening were minimal. And I see it's rising up through the frame here. So yeah, once it gets into that cloud, I think I may want to switch to stills. And I think I'm going to boost the ISO just to get the cloud more visible here. Let's bring it up to, yeah, it's sort of more what I'm seeing in terms of the cloud. Even that is close enough. But see, if I'm looking at the moon here with the eye, I can actually see the cloud. Oh, there's a plane coming, but it's a little on the high side. I don't think it's going to pass in front of me. But nonetheless, I'm going to raise this a little bit. Let's get this up a little higher. And, yeah, it's going to pass. But I'm going to just raise the camera up a bit here. I think the plane may just fly through. Yep, there it goes. Alright, and we'll bring it back down. So, just messing around here. Nothing too serious. It would have been nice to have a, good photo of the moon rising with some Montreal landmark. But it just wasn't really going to happen tonight, really. I mean, there's a slight chance it might have been possible, but there was, as I said, fairly significant thick cloud low on the horizon. There wasn't really a lot of point to. And as it is, I don't think the moon's like 100% full at the moment. I think it'll be 100% full a little after midnight tonight, let's say around 1:15 in the morning, something like that, if I remember correctly. And so in reality, it'll be closer to full when it's setting early in the morning, and probably in a lighter sky as well. So I might get up early in the morning and try and get a photo of the moon setting behind something interesting. Although that's still open to debate. So anyway, we see the halo-ish around the cloud. I mean, around the moon. Basically, the moon's shining through haze, and so it gives this halo effect. And I have said in the past that ancient people, or even modern people, I mean, could be reminded of an eclipse of the sun, the sun's corona around the moon. The difference here, of course, is the moon is bright white, whereas in a total eclipse of the sun, the moon would be a black, or very dark disk with a halo shining out around it. But nonetheless, I recently saw a post by someone, I think it was Mike Kentriakis, and he was basically saying this, that when he saw, well, not this, it was something else. I think it was when he saw the crescent moon. I think that was it. It was when he saw the thin crescent moon, it reminded him of the, partial stages of a solar eclipse. I think that was it. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And I responded by making this point, that the full moon, when it's got a halo like this around it caused by thin haze, would almost certainly remind people of a total solar eclipse, and the sun's corona shining out around the moon. It's obviously different, but nonetheless, I think there's some similarities there. So the basic idea is that this type of full moon with the halo around it, I think, would bring to mind a total solar eclipse that had been seen earlier by anyone who had witnessed a total solar eclipse. And as per Mike Kentriakis, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right, observation, that the thin crescent moon, new moon, before or after the new moon, really does, look very similar in shape to a partially eclipsed sun, when it's almost totally eclipsed, but there's that thin, crescent of the sun. So there's parallels there that I think would, remind people of solar eclipses, whether partial or total, in terms of the crescent. I'm just going to adjust this here a bit. So see how we're doing for the level. I can't check my level. Anyway, close enough. So yeah, we're just rambling on here, and from a photographic perspective, there's nothing terribly interesting happening right now. I've got many other photos and videos of similar moon and cloud. Oh, here comes another aircraft, and again, it looks like it's going to go somewhat above the moon, but I might try and snag it as it goes through the frame. So I just have to raise it up again a bit, see if we can get this right. Nope, we're right about there. Hopefully, maybe not. No, I think I'm missing it. I think I just went up. Yeah, I didn't go high enough. These things happen. But I was lucky enough not so long ago to catch a aircraft flying right in front of the moon when I was photographing the moon. Got a couple of shots off. I saw it coming. I was able to change the exposure enough that it captured the aircraft without it being a blur as it passed in front of the moon. Got a couple of decent shots with the winder on, and the camera's a Nikon D800, so it doesn't shoot quickly when it's in continuous, around 3 frames per second, I believe. Not much more than that. So yeah, this is looking good here with the cloud covering the moon, and sort of nice and moody, Friday the 13th-ish kind of image, as it were. Now maybe I should just shut up and take a actual photo of this, because it really is quite good. But on the other hand, I can pull a still from this. It doesn't have the resolution, but I think by the time I get ready to take a still, this will have passed, and I kind of like what I'm seeing here on the screen. So we'll just keep rambling on here, and this is a pretty good video. You make a nice still photo too, but at least with the video you get the motion of the clouds passing over them. And I think it's actually, in a way, better off shooting this on video than a still. This particular scene with the clouds passing. So, yeah. We're doing okay here, just like it is. Should perhaps adjust the camera a little bit, a little higher. But we'll let things go for now. Got the radio going in the background. Maybe I should shut it off. And then again, maybe not. We'll just let it run. I mean, obviously, I can get rid of the sound completely, replace the sound. This is just raw video. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Here we go. Oh, yeah. There's a sneeze captured for posterity. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to nudge this up a little bit. And there we go. Maybe move this more towards the center. Okay, this is pretty good. So yeah, I think we'll just let this run a bit. Okay, there's quite a dark cloud now obscuring the moon. Should almost boost the ISO a little bit. Right now we're at 2500 ISO. I don't know if I mentioned that. 30th of a second shutter speed. f8-ish on a no flexar 600mm lens. Got a bit of wind here, giving us the shakes. And yeah, we'll leave things as they are. But I probably would have been better off boosting the ISO by a stop or something. So how are we doing here for time? Okay, so I got about 7 minutes of recording time left, though I guess I'll be recording for about 13 minutes. Oh, it's Friday the 13th, so that's appropriate, I guess, in terms of mentioning that. Yeah, I'm really liking this video, actually. It's probably raise again the camera, because there is lighter sky above the moon than below it. But this isn't bad. I mean, looks pretty good to me. Oh, and another aircraft. Again, somewhat on the high side above the moon. So it's not going to pass in front of it by any means. I'm not even going to bother trying to capture this one. I think I'll stick with the moon footage. And I'm just debating here if I should move the camera again. Okay, so there goes the aircraft. I think I'm just going to adjust this so the moon is a little below center, a little left of center, so it can rise up through the frame. Causing the shakes a bit. Unfortunately, the camera I have does not have built-in image stabilization on the sensor, unlike the Pentax K1, which is actually very tempting. If I had a spare couple of thousand kicking around, I might buy a Pentax K1, but I don't, so c'est la vie. I the Pentax K1 does have the advantage of having image stabilization on the sensor itself, as do the later Sony mirrorless cameras, the A7 2 and 3 and the A7R 2, 3, and 4. What else has image stabilization on the sensor on full frame? Can't think of anything else right now. There may be something. Yeah, what we're looking at here is close to what I'm seeing with the eye, but you know, more contrasty. The dark is darker, really. There's more detail there in terms of what I can see with the eye, but if I increase the exposure to show that detail, the moon's going to wash out, and I don't want that. So we'll just keep filming here. What do we got? 3 minutes 51 seconds left. So yeah, we're just going to let this run through the full 20-minute recording time. And so yeah, it's basically just raw video, me yammering away, explaining things a little bit, and then from that, you know, some decent shorter clips could be edited, and you get rid of my voice, maybe put some nice music or something. But yeah, so this is it. This is the Friday the 13th full-ish moon in Montreal. Friday the 13th of September 2019, that is. Won't be another Friday the 13th moon until I think 2049 or something like that, so down the road a bit. I have to say I had a pretty lucky Friday the 13th. So far, had quite a lot of good luck. I guess the only bad luck I've had so far is not having a plane pass right in front of the moon. I've done pretty well for myself today on the luck front. I should maybe go buy a lottery ticket or something. Yeah. Not that I ever do that, but it was the first time for everything. Well, it wouldn't be the first time, but it'd be the first time in a long time if I bought a lottery ticket. But no, I had some interesting chance encounters with people today, a sort of low-end synchronicity kind of thing. Basically someone I hadn't seen in quite some time who lives in Trois-Rivières and came to town, and I ran into him at the Grande Bibliothèque, and he was with a lawyer who I know. So basically ran into two people I know, par hasard as it were. That could easily have not happened if I'd done things even slightly differently. And he mentioned himself on his Facebook page how he had met, I think he said 4 people he knew coming to town today. You know, he was surprised by that. You know, he found it unusual, shall we say, and so I actually sent him a little message saying maybe it wasn't by chance, and popped in a link to Synchronicity 1 and 2 by the police. So yeah, definitely some synchronicity kind of stuff happening today. What else was there? What else? A couple other lucky things, shall we say, happened today. Yeah, I can think of 1 or 2 others. I'll keep them to myself for now. So yeah, the moon's going behind a very dark bank of cloud. Pretty well done here anyway. I'm just gonna boost the ISO just so we can sort of get an idea of what's happening here. It's so I boosted it up to the highest it can go, which is H1, which is I think a stop over 6400 ISO. So I guess that would be 12,800, would that be right? Yeah, 12,800 ISO. Very grainy. But yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing now is just this, you know, a little bit of light, you know, slightly light, thinner cloud behind a very dark black cloud. So I think we're pretty well done here. 7 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.